Recently, the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, jumped on a podcast and finally clearly shared which algorithm signal they prioritize in Instagram's ranking.
We find over and over again that ends up being the healthiest thing to value in the ranking models. Definitely the sends. Sends, I would look at sends per reach because that tends to be the content that does the best because it tends to drive the most value for the overall community.
So you heard it. They highly value send rate, which means they look at for the amount of people a post reaches, how many send it to a friend as an indicator of how engaging a piece of content is and whether or not it should be shared to more people. Now in this video, we already broke down how the Instagram algorithm works on a larger scale, so we won't repeat that here. But overall, just so you're aware, signals dictate how much reach your posts get. So they're very important, clearly, when we're trying to grow on the platform. And interactions like engagements, likes, comments, shares, saves, overall what we talk about engagement, play a significant weight on who sees your post and how many people see the post. So we wanted to dedicate this entire video with that information in mind to how you can optimize your content and posts to get more people to share and send them on Instagram. Let's dive in.
The first way that you can increase sends and shares on Instagram is by adding clear calls to actions in your posts that ask people to actually share it. So just like in real life, you have to ask for what you want, and people just happen to love instructions. So without instructions, they may just like and scroll by, which you definitely don't want. You always need a call of action in your captions at least. And when you're looking to get more shares, just ask for it. If you're worried that it feels too promotional, don't. This is a soft ask because you're telling them why they should share it or who they should share it with. Some examples of this would be share this with a friend who needs to hear it on an inspirational post, or like share these tax tips with another entrepreneur going through tax season on an educational post.
Yes, 100%. We have done this so many times with our clients and it works. Like we can tell you that it works whether you're doing the post yourself, whether you're partnered with someone on the post. It's been one of our key things to getting people to share.
Yeah,
100%.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And while we're focusing on engagement on Instagram, it's super important to have as much information and data as possible to help guide your decisions. So thanks to HubSpot, you have all the tips you need to grow your engagement on the gram with their Instagram engagement report. So HubSpot did all the work and analyzed over 37 million Instagram posts for the report to cut through all the noise and ensure that the data and insights they deliver are as accurate and current as possible, and most importantly, actionable for you and your brand. The report heavily focuses on engagement data as it's one of the most powerful metrics to track success on the platform, hence this video. For example, engagement is higher among users in Asia Pacific. Spain is the fourth most active as far as posting content. Surprising, right?
Yeah.
And users in the UK were most engaged after midnight.
I also really love how many actionable tips and tricks they have inside of that guide. So for posting on Instagram while also showing you though the brands that are killing it, like Nike and things like that are in there. So like how major brands are doing it as an example of how you can do it too.
It's perfect. Exactly right. So you can access the Instagram engagement report for free via the link in our description. And thanks again to HubSpot for supporting the channel.
So we talked about you asking your audience to share the post, but following that, an even more important part is making content people want to share even without instruction. Now, it has been proven time and time again that from the beginning of the meme and the concept of virality, that people share content that makes them feel something. So when you're creating content, you have to be intentional in thinking, what will the experience be for the person on the other end? Will I teach them something new? Will I make them laugh? Will I make them cry, whether it be happy or sad tears? There's a Reddit forum called Made Me Smile, which I'm always like, this has made me cry, wholesome. Isn't it? It's just so wholesome. But also on the other side, will I outrage them, which, that happens often? Will I inspire them, or will I get them to think differently? These are things that need to be in your mind when creating content. In social, generally speaking, we typically bucket content into three overarching themes with this in mind. So educational, inspirational, and entertaining. Again, these are themes, not content pillars, which they often get mistaken for, but they are not the same thing. Pillars are about the categories that you'll talk about, themes are more overarching. So we find the content that gets the most sends and shares to fall in the inspirational or entertaining themes, which isn't that much of a surprise. It's also what Instagram pushes more than anything, right? They really push creators and tell creators and all of us to kind of make entertaining videos.
Yeah.
Remember though, when we're saying entertaining, it doesn't need to be like zany dancing type content, you know? It could be how a recipe comes together through quick cuts and time lapses, which is also educational too. Or it could be a controversial take on a topic. You know, Reels too are the most shareable content currently. So we highly recommend that you check out this video when we're talking about how to cut and create engaging content. That video will give you a lot of creative inspiration and best practices that we won't repeat here as to how you can edit and think about your content in a way that's more engaging. So we'll leave that in the description box below for you. And we'll also leave a link to this video where Craig dove into how you can create value-driven content that makes people want to save, share, like, do all the things. But in this video particularly, most importantly, share and send.
Another great way that you can post content that gets more shares and sends is by partnering with content creators and influencers. This has been huge for our clients and it works amazingly for businesses, but it can also work between creators as well. So if you're a business owner, say, when you're either outsourcing or receiving inbound requests for creator partnerships, have them send you their insights, and in those, ask for their top shared posts. This will allow you to work together to identify what the pattern or secret sauce is between their posts that you can leverage when they create content for your partnership with them. Now, we talked about how to work with influencers a little more in this video, so check that out if it's something you're considering. And this doesn't have to be a major investment monetarily, so don't let that scare you from exploring partnerships. So on the flip side, if you're a creator, it's super important to be building relationships with other creators in your community so that you can tap them for genuine collaboration opportunities. If you both have active audiences, or if they have an audience even larger than yours, but there's something about you or your content that they like, then collaborate on a post together so you can reach their audience and capitalize on the saves and shares that they get.
In the end, when you're creating content, you really have to think about, would I send this to a friend? You know, would I share this to my stories? That is the framing that you need to consider when you're sharing content, because if you do not find something interesting or share worthy, then someone else is not going to find it interesting, or it's very unlikely that they will too. So really consider that when you're creating and putting out content into the world. You got this. So you can definitely do it with the resources that we shared. So that is it for today's video. That's how you can create and publish content that gets more sends and more shares, knowing that Instagram is specifically ranking that higher in their algorithm. For more tips, tricks, data, and insights to help you increase your Instagram engagement, be sure to check out HubSpot's Instagram engagement report. We have it linked for free in the description box below. Thanks so much for coming to watch another video. We hope you loved it, and we definitely recommend you check out this one next. See you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.